Y'all, welcome back. This is Olusola Daniel, and in this particular video I'm going to walk you through how to set up Pixel, how to set up CAPI, which is conversion API. I'll tell you why you need CAPI, and how to set up events on your website. So guys, I hope you know the reason why we are doing all these things is to allow your campaign to optimize effectively. You understand? You get it. So let's go on. This is just the process of setting these things up: your Pixel, your CAPI, and your events. So this is our website. I hope you have your website ready. I hope you have it ready. So now we are going into the business manager environment. So I want to believe you know how to find your way here. This is a business manager account. So once you're able to get here, the next thing you want to do is to navigate to data source, and make sure you are using the business manager account and not your personal Facebook account, please. Okay, so under data source you navigate to pixels. So in your own case, you might be setting up pixels for the first time. You understand? The interface might not be like this, but it's going to show you something like this kind of add pixel. Then you click on add pixel like this. So from there you give your pixel the name you want to give to it. Let me use LBW pixel, LB life business and wisdom pixel. So check your website for easy setup option. Now you are going to get your website URL. Where will you find your website URL? This is where you find your website URL. You can come here, then from here you can just click on visit site, open in another tab. So once it loads up, this is your website URL. You do what? You copy it, Ctrl+C or option and go to copy. So once you copy it, you go back to the business manager environment. Then you do what? You paste it here like this. Then you click on continue. Let it search for possible integration. As you can see, it's saying, are you ready to set up your pixel? Continue managing my set up pixel now. Can you see it? Set up pixel now. The next thing you want to do is add code using partner integration. Yes, this is what we are following. Partner integration. It will automatically detect the website's CMS, which is a content management software, which is WordPress. As you can see here, using CMS, which is WordPress. So it's going to determine the kind of scripts we used to develop this our website. Now we are clicking on use partner integration. Click on it. Now you look for WordPress. You can scroll down. This is WordPress. If you built your website using the WordPress platform, using the WordPress scripts, now click on WordPress like this. As you can see in the background, it has been created. The pixel has been created. So we are setting it up already. Now at this point, you go back to your website backend, which is your dashboard. Make sure it is opened down like this. This is my website backend. So now you scroll down to plugins. You click on add new plugins, or you open a new tab. You understand? So once you open it in new tab, it will open like this. It's going to open like this, just like this. Then you scroll down and you search for a plugin called Pixel Your Site. Pixel Your Site. In my own case, I think I have it installed already. So once it comes up, this particular one, this is what you're looking for. Pixel Your Site. As you can see, active. But in your own case, it's going to show install. You click on install. Once it's done installing, you click on activate. So once you click on the activate, after it is activated, it's going to automatically reload and bring you to another page like this, where you find all your plugins. So you can easily scroll down to locate where if the Pixel Your Site has been added. As you can see here, it's saying pixel your site. I just finished updating it. It's saying pixel your site, so it has been installed. Pixel your site plugin has been installed on your website like this. So make sure you have done this. Now after that, the next thing you want to do is scroll down to be sure that you have it installed like this. Can you see it? Scroll down to be sure you have it installed. Now you will now go back to the business manager account where we are setting up the pixel. Let it load up. As you can see here now, it's saying click on plugin and select add new from the drop down. Let's just forget this one. It's actually telling us to use this plugin. There's Facebook for WordPress plugin, but we're actually using pixel your site because it is easier to set up with pixel your site. Now what you want to do is you close it. We'll come back to it. Now this is what we need. We need this code. Now tap on it to copy it. Copy to clipboard. It has been copied already. Now, or you can highlight it yourself and still copy to be sure that you've copied it. Copy. You can still click on it. Make sure you copy this. Now you go back to your WordPress backend. Now you scroll to pixel your site. You click on pixel your site. So once you click on pixel your site like this, click on dashboard like this. Now it's going to load up. It's going to load up like this. It's going to load up something like this. You scroll down, and you'll find something like this. Your Meta pixel, formerly Facebook pixel. Click for settings like this. Now make sure you enable conversion API first, and make sure you enable advanced matching. Now you scroll down, you paste the code you copied, you paste it here, 169, and make sure it's correct. You can go back to verify. This is it. You make sure the code you copied is correct. This is it here. Now what you want to do now is you want to go back to the pixel your site plugin that you are setting up. Now you do what? You scroll down. Make sure you follow all the settings you see on my screen. You scroll down and you click on save settings. Click on save settings. So the pixel has been inserted inside pixel your site on your website. That's the Facebook pixel. You understand? It has been inserted inside the pixel your site on your website. So that means automatically your website now has Facebook pixel, but we still need to activate it. Now you go back to the business manager environment. Let's open events manager. This is events manager. As you can see, hope you are following my steps. So this is events manager. This is the pixel LBW. Now you click on continue pixel setup. Continue pixel setup. Click on it. Now that we are using this, we are connecting with pixel. Connect pixel. Send website. Yeah, connect pixel. Check for partner. That was what we did before. Let's just continue like that. WordPress. Now we are back here. I hope you guys are following. Now we are back here again. So now you want to click on next. Click on next. Just click on next. Now we are at this point where Facebook would want to know if Facebook pixel is active on your website. So this is where we will know if the pixel has really been saved or installed on your website. Now it's saying enter the URL for your website here. We copied it the other time. Let's just paste it like that. Let's go back and copy it. You go back, you copy it, then go to the events manager, paste it. Now you remove this HTTPS like this. Now what do you want to do next? You want to send test traffic to be sure that the pixel is active on your website. Now let's see. Let's now go back. We are done. It's opened this page itself. Now we'll go back to events setup. You see, this thing ought to change to green. You see, because if it doesn't change to green, we are not going to be able to click on next. I hope you guys get that. We won't be able to click on next. Now we can close it. Let's close it. Let's close this and let's send it again. Send test traffic again. Until it shows green. Can you see? Let's see it again. Now guys, you can see it's now active. As simple as that. It's now active. Now what do you want to do next? You want to click on the next button like this. Now it's going to request you to set up events. Now I don't usually, you can actually set up events from here, but I don't usually set up events from here, except, in fact, I don't set up from here. This is where you set up events using the Events Manager setup tool. The only scenario where I use Events Manager setup tool is probably when I'm setting up, when I'm trying to track a button that cannot lead to another page. Now I will explain better now. And another thing why I don't use Event Manager setup tool is you won't be able to add value to whatever button it is you are tracking. Now I will explain better. So when you get here, just click on next. You don't need to do anything. Click on next and click on finish. Now you can refresh. You can refresh for this place to load. Once you refresh, it's going to load the menu for the pixel, the event manager menu. As you can see it. Let's see, it's saying to active integration. Let's see, it's going to be browser alone. Okay, so now guys, we are done setting up pixel. Now it remains what? It remains conversion API, which is CAPI, and events. That's event setup. Now guys, the next thing we want to do is to go back to our business manager environment and try to refresh. This thing ought to turn to green. No activity yet. You refresh it. Can you now see that it has turned to green? So this is it. Active last 3 minutes ago. Active last received 3 minutes ago. Now guys, that is that. We've been able to set up pixel. The next thing now is to set up conversions API. Conversions API. Now I will explain why you need to set up conversions API later, but let's set it up first. Now what you want to do now is you want to go back to the events manager environment. So from here now, and make sure you clicked on the pixel you newly set up. Click on it, make sure it's highlighting like this. So in my own case, it's because I have two pixels, so it's displaying 2 pixels. Now in your own case, it's going to show just 1 pixel, but make sure you are clicking on the right pixel in case you have more than 1 pixel. Now the next thing you want to do is to set up CAPI. Now go to settings, click on settings like this. You do what? You scroll down to conversion API. Can you see it? Now it generates access token. Now click on it like this. Once you click on it, then copy code to clipboard. Copy code to clipboard. Just follow my steps. Copy code. So once you've been able to copy the code like that, go back to your pixel your site. Remember, this is the pixel your site. Now click for settings like this. Make sure all these things are enabled. Enable conversion API token and all of those things. Now you now scroll down to conversion API and paste it like this. As simple as that. You paste it like that. You can see the pixel is there. Now we've pasted the conversion API token. Now you scroll down. You have nothing to do again than to just save settings. So it's loading. We need to be sure it's saving. So we've been able to save it like that. We've been able to save it. Now let's work with what we have here. Now guys, we've been able to install pixel your sites, Facebook pixel. We've been able to set Facebook pixel up on our website, and we've been able to set up the CAPI. You might not know now, but I'll show you how we are able to know that conversion API is up. Next thing we want to do is 𝗓𝗚𝗕𝗦 browser extension. Now guys, this is what we are going to do. On your browser, in case you don't have 𝗓𝗚𝗕𝗦, you go to, I'll show you what 𝗓𝗚𝗕𝗦 is. You go to new tab like this, and you type in 𝗓𝗚𝗕𝗦 or Facebook pixel 𝗓𝗚. So once you type it's an extension, it's a browser extension, so it's going to load up like this. As you can see, most of the time we used to find it inside Chrome Web Store. So once you see something like this, Google, and you see chrome.google.com, just click on it. It opens up just like normal Google Play Store, but this is Web Store. I already have it installed, that's why it's showing me remove extension. But in your own case, it's going to tell you to install or add extension. So you click on add extension. I will tell you the usefulness of this 𝗓𝗚𝗕𝗦 now. Let me close this place. So now in your own case, you see add extension. Click on add extension, either add extension or install, whatever it is you see. Make sure you install this 𝗓𝗚𝗕𝗦 on this browser that we are using. I'm using Edge, as you can see, Microsoft Edge browser. I'm using Edge browser, so I'm using Edge browser. So once it's done installing, you might, in your own case, you might have to go and enable it. If you are using Chrome, you might have to enable, not to enable it as such, but to bring it to a place you can see it. Now you go to, if you are using Chrome, you go to extensions, but this is Edge. I would have loved to open my Chrome and show you how you can find it. But if you are using Edge browser, this is extension. You click on extension like this, and you find it among other extensions. These ones you are seeing now, they are visible. They are kind of, all these ones are visible. This one is kind of hidden. This one is hidden. Now I think I have to open my, let me open my Chrome, Google Chrome, so you can see, because I know most of you guys will be using Google Chrome. Let it open up. Now guys, this is Google Chrome. So you would see something like this icon here. As you can see, extension. Just click on it, and you will find it among other extensions like this. You can find it among other extensions. Then you click on this pin to pin it here, up here. As you can see, this is 𝗓𝗚𝗕𝗦 here too. If you don't click on this pin, it's not going to show up here, because we need it up here. So you click on this pin to pin it up here. You understand? To pin it up here. Now that is that about using Google Chrome, but I'm actually using Microsoft Edge. Let me close it. I don't need it again. Quit. So we are back here. So let's say you've been able to install and you've been able to pin it to your toolbar. Now we are going back to set up events. We are going back to do what? To set up events. Now the events, which is the next thing, manual event setup with Pixel Your Site. Now there are two ways you can set up events. You can set up events from inside the events manager environment using the event manager. Now how do you do that? You go to settings, you scroll down, you click on event setup tool, but I'm not using this now. I have a video that has described this in full detail, and I'll tell you the reason I don't use open event setup. For some reasons I use it, for some reasons I don't use it, for some reasons I'll tell you. Maybe when we are done with this video, I will explain to you better. So now guys, let's go back to overview. Now the next point says manual event setup with Pixel Your Site. That means we are going back inside that Pixel Your Site. Now go back inside the Pixel Your Site like this, scroll down and click on events. Now guys, there is one thing you need to understand. If you are using 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗧𝗏 to set up events on your website, there are two ways you can set up events. Like I told you, you can use the events manager and you can use the 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗧𝗏. Now if you are using 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗧𝗏, that means the page you want to track, or should I say your sales funnel, is in such a way that if you are using 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗧𝗏, is going to be that you are tracking URL. You are tracking URL, which means once anybody lands on a page that has that URL, certain events will be triggered. You might not get that. Now, the first event we want to set up now using, I hope you know how we got here. Yeah, from general to events. Now you enable events like this. Now you scroll down to add events, add like this. Now let me go back to my website. Just leave it as add events. We are here like this now. Leave it this way. Now go back to, in my own case, I want to track a page as purchase. All pages, I want to track a page as purchase. Now I would open, I have my sales page like this. Let me open my sales page, and I have my thank you page. Thank you page. I'll tell you the reason I'm using a thank you page now very shortly. This is a sales page that sells a product. This is a sales page. Now this is the thank you page. Now from this sales page, now once anybody clicks on this button after filling this form like this, after filling it, once anybody clicks on this button, they are going to land on this page. They are going to land on this page. Now let me pause it there. The pixel helper that we installed, this is one of the functions here. Look at it here. As you can see it, so this shows that the pixel is active. Look at it. So for once you are able to install this meta pixel, and you are able to install pixel on your website, and the CAPI that we did, any page of your website that you load should start triggering as page view. So page view is automatic events. You don't need to set it up. But now I said we are going to set up a purchase event on this page, so that anybody that fills this form, once the person click on place order, the person will land on this thank you page, and that is when Facebook is going to trigger the purchase events. That means we are tracking URL. Now this is the URL we are tracking, the thank you page URL. You copy it like this, copy this URL, go back to your 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗧𝗏. Now this is where we were. Now you can name this as purchase events. As you can see, it just follow my step, guys. Now URL contains, no, it must match. It must match. Then you paste the URL you copied. You understand? That means until anybody lands on this link, that is when the events I want to set up is going to trigger. You understand? Now, of course, you guys should know events are the actions people take on your website, so I don't need to start going over that. Now, this event we are setting up, where do you want it to trigger? We are still on inside 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗧𝗏. Now you have to enable on Facebook like this. Now what do you want it to trigger as? It should trigger as purchase. Now you can set it to trigger as anything you want here, but it depends on what you optimize your Facebook ad campaign for. If you're optimizing your ad campaign for purchase, then you have to track purchase here. You understand? Now after that, you can then decide to add parameters. This is one of the advantages of using 𝗕𝗟𝗀𝗧𝗏, especially if you are working with a single product sales page like this one. Where is it? Like this one. You understand? So I said I was going to tell you the reason why I don't use this. Why I don't use this. I think this is the best time to explain it. Why I don't use open event setup tool for a sales page like this. For a sales page like this. The reason I don't use it is because if I use event setup tool to track this button, there's a way to track this button, because I have a video on that. You should have watched that video before even watching this, but whichever way. So if you track this button as purchase using the event setup tool, now it can result to a case whereby Facebook starts to trigger your events more than once. Maybe a customer fills this form now and the customer is clicking on this link and it's not going, and maybe Facebook is receiving that event now as purchase. So if the person eventually clicks on it and it didn't load, and the person clicks on it again, Facebook is going to record 2 purchases for you on your campaign if you are running campaign. You understand? That is why I don't use open event setup tool to set up events, particularly purchase events for an e-commerce sales page like this. You understand? But I use open event setup tool to set up e-store. That's for e-commerce online store. E-commerce online store like WooCommerce and maybe some other things, because those ones you don't need to just click on the buttons. You track the buttons, initiate checkout, place order on the checkout page, add to cart. You can track those buttons like that. That one you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem. You understand? But if you are working with something like this, the essence of using Pixel your site to set up this kind of event is that it is until a customer click on this button and lands on this page that your purchase will be triggered. Until it finishes loading, until this page finishes loading, that is when Facebook will record purchase whenever you are running your Facebook ad. So even if the person clicks on this place order and this page is not loading, it is not still going to record purchase until this page loads and it comes to this thank you page. I'm going to practicalize it now. You guys will see it, but let's set up the purchase first. I hope you get that. So let's go back to the Pixel your site. Now we are setting up purchase. Now we can enter value. So another reason I love to use this Pixel your site is you can enter the value of what you are actually selling. You understand? Let's say, let me just use this one as an example. Now this product is being sold for, the first package, which so many people will go for, is being sold for 19,000. I hope you get it. Now the essence of adding the value of this product to the event you are tracking, I've copied this. The essence is that it will allow Facebook to measure how effective your campaign is, to measure how much you are getting per conversion. You understand? How much you are getting per conversion. You understand? Now I would explain that better. Let me go back to Pixel your site. Now I've copied this value now. In fact, do I even need to copy it? Let me impute it with my hand. Enter value. The value of this purchase event is 19,000. 19,000. You don't need any comma. Now what's the currency? You are not going to find Nigeria here, but you can click on it like this and go to custom currency. Then you type in NGN, Nigerian Naira. So for the rest, don't worry, just scroll down, make sure everything you did is correct. Now just scroll down and click on save events. I hope you guys are getting it. Save events. Save events. So that event has been saved like that. So now let me go back to the thank you page and refresh it so that you guys can guess what. Can you see now? This is the Meta Pixel Epper. This is it here. This is it. It's actually not showing anything. Now, you know, initially it showed page view. Maybe you didn't notice, but I'm going to refresh it now and we are going to see that purchase will be triggered on this page. It's going to be triggered on this page now. Let me refresh it so you can see. It's loading. Okay guys, you can see it's showing page view. I think we need to save it. I think I've not saved it. I need to go back and enable it. This is enable here. I thought I enabled it the other time, but let me just enable. This is a common mistake, and this is not the first time this will be happening. This is not the first time it will be happening. I enabled it the other time, but I think because I didn't save it before I clicked on add, that was why it's reverted back to off. But now I've enabled it again. In your own case too, you have to be sure. I wouldn't have known if I had not refreshed this page. Now I'm only seeing page view and this micro data automatically detected. Now let me go back to Pixel website. I hope you are following. Now you've enabled it. Now you scroll down and you save settings. Save settings like that. So once that setting is done saving, you will now go back to refresh the page. Let's be sure that it's done saving. It's still loading. Okay, now it's done loading. It's done loading now. Okay, now you can see purchase events, trigger, page visits. That means whenever anybody visits that page, the purchase event is going to trigger. Until somebody visits that page, Facebook will not trigger purchase events. Let's go back to the page. Now let's refresh. Okay, it's still not coming up, but it's still not coming up. That may be due to maybe it's not receiving events yet, but we just have to keep refreshing it until it receives the event. Okay, in your own case, if it's not coming up like that, it might be due to cookie. Let's take it to another browser that I have opened so that we can be sure. Okay, as you can see here guys, we have 3. As you can see, purchase, page view, purchase, as you can see. So this one was not coming up due to cookie. You understand? It's cookie. If you are used to browsers, you know what cookie is. By the time we come back, maybe after a few minutes or few hours to refresh it, it's actually going to trigger as purchase. So it's not something you should be worried about. In your own case, it might actually come up. As you can see here now that we have it as purchase. We have it as purchase. In fact, let me copy this sales page link. Let me open it on this browser. Now I'll be filling that form now. I'll be filling that form. I'll be filling that form now, and I'll be submitting it so that it can take me to the thank you page. Now I told you the essence of using that thank you page. The reason we are using the thank you page is because we want to avoid certain errors from this form. You understand? Now when I fill the form like this, let's say Mr. Biggs, let me say big, small, sorry guys, big, small, state, Abuja, detailed address. Let me put Abuja again. Now phone number, let me say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Alternative phone number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now choose your package. Let's say single. Terms and conditions, let's say single. Now I'll be clicking on place order. Now place order like this. Wait a moment while we process your order. So as you can see now once the order is done processing, it's going to take me to the thank you page automatically. I actually don't need to show you all these things. The only thing we are concerned about is the where is it? Is the thank you page. Okay, this is it. As you can see, Look at it, purchase. So guys, I hope you get it, and I hope it's not confusing. I hope you understand it. So that is that, guys. That is how to set up events, to create pixel, and to also set up conversions API. Now let me show you where the conversions API comes in. We've actually tested, which is the last thing on the list. Now this is where the conversions API comes in. Where are we? I don't need this private tab again. Now let's go back to events manager. We should be receiving events already. Let's come here. Okay, let's refresh. We should be receiving events already from here. We should be receiving events. The pixel should be receiving events now. Can you see? It's showing page view active, but this is showing browser, but it ought to show browser or multiple, browser and server or multiple, but it's showing browser. Let's see why the conversions API has not been activated. Let's see, generate token. Are we being given another token? Okay, let's copy it and let's use this new token, if at all it's a new token. Let's go back to general, because we are not only, this is showing us that this overview here, let's go back to overview. This is showing us that we are only receiving events from the browser side, and we are supposed to be receiving events on the browser and on the server side. Now the essence of receiving events on browser and server sides is because of the iOS 14 updates. Now what side effects does this have, the iOS 14 updates? Now most of iOS 14 users would be opting out, or they automatically opted out of tracking, so your browser alone cannot track them. So your browser now is doing the work with the help of your website server. Your website server is tracking them. So if your browser cannot capture them, your website server will capture them. You understand? So you don't need to worry yourself about that. Just make sure CAPI has been set up correctly. This event now is showing 31 minutes ago, but we are supposed to receive the latest. If you are able to receive the latest event updates, then I believe it should show multiple, or it should show browser and server. Now we've been able to generate another token, so let's use it. Let's use it so that it works fine. Let's use it. Oh, I think it's still the same token. Let me see. Let's paste it and see. Okay, still the same token, so we have nothing to worry about. Let's just go back. Let's refresh. It's still the same token. Now guys, what we want to do next is for you to be able to know that the conversion API and the pixel is active, they are working now. We can test it ourselves, because this is showing 31 minutes ago, whereby we just even received event few minutes ago. But we can test it ourselves by going to test events. From test events, you copy this code. That's test server events. You copy this code like this. Once you copy it, you go back to your pixel, your site, you paste it here. Click for settings, you paste it here. After pasting it, you save it, but make sure you remove it once you are done testing it, just to be sure that we are receiving events from the server side. That's from the server, website server side. Now we are done saving. Now let's go back here, leave it on this page. Now go back to the thank you page. Let me refresh from here. Refresh. So once it triggers purchase events both on the browser and on the server side, we are going to see it loading here. Can you see now, guys? Wow, now you can see server. So all these things can be funny at times. This is browser, this is server. As you can see, it's now receiving from server end and from browser end. So in your own case, it's going to show something like this. You see purchase deduplicated, you see page view deduplicated. So you are going to receive from server and browser. So in your own case, you might see something showing browser and server, This one now is capturing purchase. This is exactly what you are going to see, but yours might be browser and server or multiple. Then you are going to see something like a tree. Purchase, one of them will be deduplicated. It might be server that will be deduplicated. One is going to be dropped, like I said. So this is what you are going to see. Now let's go back to overview and see if, okay, this is still, let's refresh. So you can be sure, that's how you can know that you are now receiving events, and it has to be active. You need it to be active for your campaign to be effective, for your campaign to be well optimized. You need CAPI. So many people don't do it. They just set up pixel, and the negative result is that Facebook will not be able to get the data it needs to optimize your campaign. You understand? Especially for iPhone users. So you need to set up CAPI to be able to track iPhone users that are opting out of tracking. I hope you get that. So once I refresh it now, it's still going to, as you can see, it's still going to load the purchase event. As you can see, 3. This is showing 3. So it's showing this, and showing this. And once we click on it like this, we'll see the value, currency, NGN, value 19,000. So Facebook needs this value in order for it to calculate how much we are spending on ad, how much are we getting in return. You understand? That's what we call purchase ROAS, return on ad spend. Now, the way I set up, in your own case, you might be tracking lead. You understand? The way I set up this this purchase is the way you are going to set up for any other event you want to track. Now let's say I want to track leads. Now I'll go back to events. Then I would do what? I would click on add. After clicking on add, I can decide to scroll down and firstly click on enable on Facebook. I can click on enable on Facebook, then click down, go to leads. You understand? Lead does not have any value. You understand? And if at all you think there's the need for you to add parameters to it, you can add to it, but it has been enabled on Facebook as lead. Now you will now paste your lead, should I say lead funnel thank you page. Now how does a lead funnel look like? Somebody will land on your lead page. You want to capture their information. You want them to opt in to give you their name and their email. So once they're able to give you their names and their email, you want them to click to the other end in order for them to get your whatever it is you want to give them. So now you can decide to tell Facebook that I don't want lead events to trigger until somebody clicks on the button from the lead page and the person lands on probably the thank you page. You understand? In such scenario, you might have set up an email marketing software or automation. You understand? So the person just received whatever you want to give the person, or the person might just click to the next page and you give them what you want to give them. So but it's until the person lands on the next page that the lead event will be triggered, and the link for the next page is what you are going to track as a lead. You understand? So that means if the person clicks on the button and the person does not land on the next page, the lead event will not be triggered and you are not going to be charged for lead campaign optimization. You understand? So that is that about that. You can, here you input the lead funnel thank you page, you input it here, then you match it. It has to be URL match. You understand? And then it will be triggered on page visits, no delay. Then after doing that, you can name it as lead event. Then you must go down to save events. Go down to save events. So that is that, guys. I think we've been able to do justice to that. So I hope you can now set up your pixel, your conversions API, your events properly. I remain Olusola Daniel, and make sure you are always having a wonderful and great time. Bye for now.